daily baseball game right now. So I know other people have commitments. So this will be posted on our Northland CAPS website later. So if anybody needs to see it, they'll be able to. There is a chat function inside Teams. If you are new to Teams, please feel free to use it. Mrs. Self and I will be watching that chat box as well as both of our student associates. So if you have questions for us as we go through, we will do our best to get those questions answered for you. And we'll also have some time at the very end for questions and answers. So give me just a quick moment and I will share my screen with you all. All right, is everybody able to see the slides? Just give me a head nod. Awesome. So welcome to Northland CAPS. This is medicine and healthcare, and you guys will be starting with us in spring of 2021. These are the topics that we will be covering tonight. We're going to start with some introductions, tell you a little bit about the Northland CAPS experience, what our business partner sites are like, what the responsibilities are going to be for transportation, dress code, hospital onboarding, spring and summer tasks, and summer contact information. Can everyone see the slides?
I can't see them on mine.
Let me try this a different way.
We can see them.
Mrs. Self, are you able to see the lobby and let the people that are coming in late into the meeting?
Yep, I'm working on it right now.
You're awesome. All right, so I'm going to do it this way. Can you guys see my slides now? Okay.
Yeah, I can see them.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, when I do it this way, I can't see you guys. So Mrs. Self, you'll have to watch the chat box for me since I can now only see the slides.
I will.
All right. Thank you. All right, here we go. All right, so here's the topics that I was telling you about that we're going to cover this evening. Again, if you have questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to stop us and ask us. We're here to help you guys out because we want you to have an amazing year with us here at Northland CAPS. So if you have questions during tonight's section, you will see up here at the top, if you're new to Teams, that there's a little chat feature. You can also raise your hand. So if you have questions during tonight's session, we would love to be able to get them answered for you. Introductions. So like I said earlier, my name is Stacy Williamson. This is currently my 21st year in education, and I'm finishing my 4th year here at Northland CAPS in the medicine and healthcare strand. I have loved doing this and have enjoyed it tremendously. It's, I would say, like my dream job. I do still work clinically outside of teaching, and I work as a paramedic for AMR. And I know many of you, and some of you know me as well. I'm also a swim coach for the North Kansas City School District. I coach boys diving, all 4 high schools, high school girls swim for Stoketown, and I am the head coach of the middle school swim team for the 4 middle schools here in North Kansas City as well. And I'll turn it over to Mrs. Self.
Hi there, my name's Kelly Self. I am finishing my very first year with Northland CAPS. And like Mrs. Williamson said, this is pretty much my dream job. I have been a registered nurse for, gosh, I guess about 9 years now. And I made the transition over to Northland CAPS this year, and it is really it's really great to wake up and go to work and be able to teach and be a nurse too. So really two of my favorite things combined into one job. So I am by trade. I've done a lot of different types of nursing. Peds and maternal health have been my public health have been really my my favorite thing. So I would say that would be my kind of my specialty area. So I'm excited for you all to come through our class next year and start my next year with Northland CAPS.
Yeah, she's been such a great addition. And so what you will see is that Mrs. Self and I are partners in this, and we work very, very closely together, and you will actually get to enjoy spending time with both of us this year. And now I'm going to turn it over to our student associates. Yes.
Looks like somebody in the chat said we're not hearing anything. Is anybody else having a problem hearing?
No.
Okay, if you're having trouble hearing, maybe check your maybe see if your speakers are on. That can sometimes be an issue. Maybe try that. Sorry.
All right, no, you're good. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Ava, if you'll go first and tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yes, so like I said, I'm a junior at Liberty North, and I am interning at Kansas City Surgical Arts, and I'm super excited and glad that I joined Northland CAPS because it has been a really great experience, and I've learned so much rather than just taking classes in high school. This is helping me with my future career and helping me find like what path I want to go down and all that stuff, and it's super fun, super exciting.
Awesome. Thanks, Ava. Nurpe?
Yeah, I'm a junior at Liberty High School, like I said before, and I think this experience really helped me out, learn new skills, meet new people, see things I never thought I'd see before too, and just put it all together and make it into one.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. So at this time, if you can see the directions on the computer screen there, what we'd like to do is if all of you that have joined us this evening would introduce yourselves in the chat. If you will tell us your first and last name, tell us what grade you're in right now, and which high school you're from.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm Carrie Evans. It's for my daughter Avery Evans. She just can't be here tonight, and she is a junior at Liberty North High School.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Liz Rysack, and I'm in the same boat. My daughter Hallie will be Hallie Rysack is a sophomore, and next year she'll be a junior. And she's kind of interested in nursing, physical therapy, that sort of thing. But she couldn't be here tonight either.
Oh, that's quite all right. We're glad you could join us.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm trying to watch the chat on my phone. So awesome. I am going to keep going while you guys go ahead and get that entered into the chat. I want to honor your time as much as I can. All right, a little bit about the Northland CAPS experience. So to tell you a little bit more about our strand, we cover not just nursing, not just doctors. We cover actually about 90 different career paths in medicine. And the way that we currently run our strands is you will have an inpatient experience and an outpatient experience. So I am in the outpatient setting, and a little bit about what we do in the outpatient setting is you'll get to go do shadows in different clinics. So say you're thinking, maybe I kind of like veterinary. So you'll get an opportunity. We always go tour the veterinary program at MCC. And there's opportunities to go shadow in several of the different veterinary clinics here and around town. And then we also go see some of the other specialties like ophthalmology and dental, along with all the other different modalities, auditory, physical therapy, you name it, we've covered it. So it's a really great experience. If you're not really sure what you want to go into and you want to get your feet wet and you know you want to do medicine, you're just not sure what the best fit is yet, we can cover that. We've also had several students do psychology and psychiatry and do mental health and have had great experiences as well. And then you can have different opportunities to shadow during the outpatient side. You can even do what I do and go do an ambulance ride along and see if that's a good fit for you. And then we do a lot of hands-on skills and things like that, like learning how to start IVs and how to intubate, how to do suturing, kind of fun things like that. And then Mrs. Self, if you'll tell them a little bit about the awesome stuff they'll do in inpatient.
Yeah, so in the inpatient side, my classroom is in Liberty Hospital. We will cover basically the careers and the jobs that are kind of housed within the hospital and what that looks like in the hospital. There's a lot of careers that kind of do both. They're in the hospital and on the outpatient side. But a lot of times those two things look very different. So we'll kind of explore what it looks like from the inpatient side. One of our big projects is kind of a patient case study where you are assigned a patient and you are with a team, a healthcare team, and you kind of you work to figure out what's wrong with that patient. Next year, I'm really hoping to connect you all with people who are doing the jobs that you're hearing about in your case study within the hospital. So we kind of use the partnership with the hospital to get you connected with those people. And then hopefully next year, we also will be able to do some shadowing in the hospital too. So, getting you out on the floors to kind of see what that looks like.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The next really big piece of what makes Northland NCAPS so different than all of the other programs that are out there, including programs like NCC, is we are best known for our professional skills and our professional skills boot camp. And Nurbay has kindly offered to tell you guys a little bit more about our boot camp.
All right, so boot camp is basically going to be your first few weeks with NCAPS, and it's just going to teach you these core competencies that allow you to be successful in the workplace, whether it be in medicine, healthcare, or not. Now we have communication and collaboration as our first competency. It's just know how to speak and listen to people, because you got to remember 45% of communication is listening and just working in teams to reach common goals. Next up, we have time and project management. Just arrive on time. This is done by getting to class maybe 10 minutes early, going to your internships 10, 15 minutes early. Managing a schedule is also really important because, obviously with CAPS, you had to put some things to the side and then some things elsewhere and all. So you also want to set goals with qualitative and quantitative measures. So SMART goals is something to go over, and just managing your activities. And also creativity and innovation is our third one. So think outside the box, ask questions, and recognize failure as an opportunity to learn. And just continuous perseverance is really important in that. And then critical thinking with problem solving is our fourth skill. And it's using just simple reasoning to solve problems, analyzing claims, and just evaluate your alternatives and interpret information. And the most important of all of these, in my opinion, is integrity and trust, because you need to recognize that trust is the foundation for every relationship you're ever in. So whether it be in a clinic setting, at home, school, if people can trust you, they'll know to rely on you. They can count on you more. Just act responsibly and conduct yourself with honor and keep the CAPS name up high.
Thank you so much, Nurbay. That was awesome. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about our fall experience. When you think about programs like paramedic school, which is what I attended, or nursing school, a lot of times you do didactic experiences first before you get out into the field, and we do the same thing. So a lot of the didactic learning that happens inside the classroom and practicing skills, we have mannequins and and fake arms and things like that for you to practice skills on before you go out and practice them with real patients second semester. So a lot of that will happen in the fall semester, as well as some of those career exploration pieces. We'll also tell you that we offer throughout the year 13 hours of college credit that is available to you at a reduced cost. So it's not just a made-up curriculum. We do follow the university curriculum. So university that we currently serve with is UMKC and Northwest Missouri State University. So those content pieces will be covered in the fall. And then I'm going to have our two awesome soon-to-be senior associates tell you about their spring experience. And in the spring, it's a 16-week internship, and those internships can be done several ways. You can find one of your own. So if you have somebody who works in the medical field that's in your family and you have a connection, you can always use that. Or we provide a giant list of opportunities that you can apply for to be in that internship for second semester. So I'm going to let our two associates talk about those first. Whichever one. Who wants to go first? Ava and Nurbe?
I can go ahead and go.
Thanks.
Okay, so I intern at Kansas City Surgical Arts under Don Peterson, who I actually know personally, which is one of the ways I got into that internship. And I've learned so much this year, from like how to set up dental trays, and I've learned sterilization. And Kansas City Surgical Arts, they mainly focus on oral surgery and procedures. So it's really cool to be able to see like the two different sides, not just one. And my supervisor is the registered nurse there, so I also get to learn some of the nursing stuff there, which is really interesting to me and something I'm looking forward to pursuing. And I also get to watch procedures being done, like facelifts, liposuction, a lot of Botox, and also oral things like implants and tooth extractions, and a lot of wisdom teeth removals. And I get to help with after they come out of sedation in the recovery room, which is really fascinating to me. I really like doing that. And it's really neat to just see the impact that I've made there, and how the little things that I do, laundry and just cleaning up rooms after they're done in there, how much it helps them. And they also might offer me a job over summer because they've appreciated everything that I've done, which is really exciting, and I'm super excited about that. And they've just given me a lot of opportunities there.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ava.
On the other hand, I'm at Meritas Health Clinic over on Briarcliff and North Kansas City Hospital on Fridays. So at the Briarcliff Clinic, we've got many specialties. So we have gynecology, family medicine, and internal medicine. I've had the opportunity to spend time with all of these guys, and they're all fascinating. Everything they do is really neat. And my favorite thing is that no two cases are ever the same. So really get to dive deep into this. And there's procedure rooms. There have been times where I'm the only assisting there with the doctor in a procedure, which is really fun. I'm allowed to check patients in, which is another one of those integrity and trust things where they trust you, they can count on you. So completely on my own rooming patients. I have my own Cerner login for our system, and just that whole accountability thing that they count on you to do the right thing, and you can constantly do that. I'm also at the Wound Care Center at North Kansas City Hospital. And over there, I know how to do casts. I've helped apply casts onto people to help their wounds heal. Apply wound vacuums, which stimulate growth by providing vacuum and just helping them clean up and all this fun stuff that happens. So it's been a wonderful experience.
That's awesome, Nurbe. Thank you so much. All right, so our business partner site, our main site is Liberty Hospital. And you can see there, we found a big picture of the campus there at Liberty Hospital, 2525 Glen Hendron Drive in Liberty, Missouri. My classroom is currently in Zona Rosa, and I'm in an office space there. And I was at St. Luke's. We're hoping that once COVID gets a little bit better, I will be moving back into my regular classroom at St. Luke's. So transportation, this is always a big question. We do not provide transportation. Our student associates are required to provide their own transportation to and from class every day. And we do have days during the semester that we are not in our classroom. And like I mentioned before, we do switch our student associates between our classes. So they will spend roughly half of their time with one of us. Then it's like the first 5 weeks, we'll switch for 3 weeks. They switch back for 4 weeks and then back again for 4 weeks. That way, each student associate has an opportunity to see the inpatient side and the outpatient side before they apply for an internship, which they'll be placed in for an entire 16 weeks in second semester. We want to make sure they're choosing something that's going to be a good fit or something that they can truly benefit by. So we want them to see as much as they can first semester. So that's really important. We also do have combined days that we are at North Kansas City Hospital. And we always like to warn, especially our northern schools, because we kind of represent the North, that there are days that you can expect your child to drive to North Kansas City Hospital because they do provide some of the training that our associates have to have. If you have a transportation issue, please contact your counselor at your school to see if they can help you out. You can also consider contacting other NCAPS student associates from your high school and carpool. I know several of our student associates do take turns driving and they ride together. I know I have 2 girls that go to Smithville right now and they take turns driving because their internship is at the Medical Reserve Corps in Independence. So something to think about. And here's a couple of pictures of our student associates doing some of the skills in class. This was a day of splinting, and you can see in the first picture that's actually Gertrude, our mannequin, lying there on the bed that she's working with. And then in the other picture, you can see both of them are working together on splinting. Dress code. So this is always a big question every year. So before you start doing all of your big shopping for next year, please pay close attention. Our dress code is business casual when you are representing Northland CAPS. So that means slacks or khakis and absolutely no jeans. Because we are tied to the hospitals, North Kansas City Hospital, Liberty Hospital, and St. Luke's, they have a no denim policy. So even if you roll in a pair of really cute gray denim jeans, that's a no-no. It has to be slacks or khakis. We are not allowed to wear dresses or skirts in the hospitals, and that's simply because if we're out on the floors, all of our student associates will be certified in CPR. It is the expectation if you see something happen, you have to assist. So doing CPR in a dress or a skirt is not fun. So no skirts or dresses. Collared shirts and sport jackets are great. You can wear a sweater. One of the things I've always recommended do is you could find several like simple shell pieces like this, get a couple of cardigans, and you can just switch out of them every day, and a couple of pairs of pants, just switch in and out of them every day. Our class is 2.5 hours long. So figure, that's just your uniform for class, and we're totally fine if you wear the same thing all 5 days. It won't hurt our feelings, but we do have a business casual dress code. Special requirements for medicine and healthcare. Like I said, we're not allowed to wear denim at all, so please keep that in mind. We are also not allowed to wear open-toe shoes or sandals and things of that sort, so you must wear closed-toed shoes at all times. I also don't recommend wearing high heel shoes or booties because on the days that we're walking through the hospitals and going places, you'll find that that's going to be pretty rough on your feet. I found that the simple flat shoes that you can get at Target are your best buy. And the one thing we always like to warn everyone, because it's always a question, no artificial nails, polish, or gel is allowed. And that is hospital policy. That is not a Northland CAPS policy. We are required to go by the strictest standard by our hospitals, and that's what they have required. So we cannot wear anything on our nails at all. And no unnatural hair colors. So if you've got a hot pink streak, that's got to go. If you have any other further questions about those pieces and anything about dress code, please let us know. We'll be happy to clarify them for you. You can see here some examples of appropriate dress code. So you'll see in the first picture, both of those student associates are wearing scrubs. Scrubs is something that has to be earned. That is an opportunity that you earn during first semester to be able to allowed to wear scrubs at your internship second semester. And then you'll see these two student associates are dressed appropriately for class. You'll see the young man has a button-down shirt on, khaki pants, and nice dress shoes. And she has on a nice sweater, khaki, well, kind of an olive colored pants, and she also has on dress shoes. You'll see here another one of our student associates. She's wearing scrubs. Yes.
We have a couple questions in the chat about dress codes, so I thought maybe
Sure.
it'd be good to just address them
Yeah.
now since we're talking about it. So the first one we have is, can you wear tennis shoes?
Not until second semester and only with scrubs.
And then the second one is, are you allowed to wear V-necks?
Yes, as long as they're not a plunging neckline. So if you have a V-neck shirt and it has a significant plunge, you would be expected to wear like a cami or something under it to stay modest.
All right. And we just had another one come through. How are scrubs earned?
You earn them by getting a recommendation for an internship second semester. So second semester is never a guarantee. Second semester is something that has to be earned by recommendation from both instructors. That's the only way that student associates are allowed to continue in Northland CAPS for a second semester, is they have to earn that right. And that's by following those 5 basic pieces of professional skills that Nurbay talked about.
Those are all the questions in the chat as of right now.
Awesome. All right. So make sure you're checking your email. This is going to start early in June. Whatever email you registered with for CAPS is the email you need to be checking, and check often. You will need to go ahead and start gathering your vaccination records. One of the easy ways to do that is get a copy of that from your school nurse, because the hospitals will require it. Pardon me. The hospitals will require updated vaccinations, and they will provide everyone with a flu shot. So you don't have to worry about that one. That one the hospitals will actually provide, and we usually all go together. But vaccinations will be required by the hospitals, and that will start very early and will be required before you're allowed to do your onboarding training at the hospitals. Excuse me. All right, so you have some tasks and jobs to do this summer. So the first thing is you will have an interest survey to do via phone call. You'll need to make sure you fill out your waiver and form submission. You'll get your ID badge photographs done this summer as well. Then there are fall onboarding events that you will be required to attend. We usually offer 2 of those in the summertime, and they are mandatory in order to continue on with the program. And hospital onboarding is obviously also mandatory. So they offer just a handful of dates to do that hospital onboarding in the summer. So get on that as soon as you get your first bit of information about those hospital onboardings, so you can make sure that you're able to get to one and attend one around your scheduled vacations and things like that for summer.
I'm going to just jump in because there's a couple people had a question about vaccination, and I think it's worth mentioning.
Sure.
There was a question about are COVID vaccinations going to be required? As of right now at Liberty, they are not required. Liberty Hospital, they are not requiring a COVID vaccine. But if you have gotten one, it would probably be good to just put that card in with your vaccination paperwork so that they have a record of it.
Yes, thank you so much, Kelly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, our summer contact information. This can also be found on our website. So you can call the office all summer long. That's 816-977-8111. And if you have questions, you can always email us at info@northlandcaps.org. And our web address is www.northlandcaps.org. You can also find contact information for Mrs. Self and I on there, and you are always welcome to shoot us an email if you have any questions.
And we have a couple questions about hospital onboarding. Hospital onboarding is a session that you'll attend in the summer. It will just be one, but I think they offer it 3 different times. But you do just have to attend one, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes,
Ms.
that is
Williams? Yes.
correct. Mhm.
And it's just a session that the education department at Liberty Hospital will do that just goes over a lot of their policies, what's expected of you in the hospital, what you can and cannot do. So that is what hospital onboarding looks like. It usually takes a couple of hours, one afternoon in the summer before we start.
Yeah, and one of the really big pieces that they cover during that hospital onboarding that we will cover again during class is HIPAA, and that deals with patient privacy and protecting the privacy of the patients that are in the clinics that we work with and inside the hospital, because you would never want your own privacy to be destroyed. So we take that HIPAA piece very, very, very important. All right, we're going to open this up for questions. If anyone has any questions, we'd love to answer them for you.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
I don't have that button that you said, the chat thing, so I don't know where it is on mine. But as far
That's
as
okay.
all classes and stuff, is all the classes the first semester going to be at Liberty Hospital?
No, they will not. So they
Okay.
will actually rotate through both of us. If I stay where I'm at, and that's kind of up in the air because of COVID. So it depends on if they allow our student associates back at St. Luke's Hospital. If not, they will spend half of their time at Liberty Hospital and the other half of their time at my office suite, which is at Zona Rosa above Victoria's Secret, and those office spaces there.
Okay. And you said St. Luke's, is it the one on the plaza or is it the one Berry?
It's actually, my classroom is supposed to be at the Smithville location. So we're just waiting to hear back from them. But as of right now, it's Zona Rosa.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Ethan has a question in the chat. Will people interested in veterinary medicine have different results, location, and placement? The answer is yes. So the nice thing about CAPS, one of the things that we kind of feel like is unique to us is that you all kind of get to decide what you learn. So while there will be things that we present to you that are kind of everybody learns, it's heavy in kind of what you want to know more about. And so yes, if you're interested in veterinary medicine, we'll help kind of guide you to say, okay, like, what do you think you need to learn about veterinary medicine? And then how can you get connected with vets to talk to? And then as far as your internship placement, I know there are several veterinary clinics that host interns. So that would just be one that you apply for. If that's what you're interested in. So it's very much kind of student-led learning. We have got a bunch of questions in the chat. All right. Is dress code the same for onboarding? Yes. Yes. Business casual to onboarding as well. Okay. Mrs. Williamson, I'll let you take this one if you want. What is the daily schedule? So the hours each day.
Oh, yeah. So if you are a morning student, we will begin at 7:30 in the morning and class ends at 10. And if you are a PM afternoon student, we start at noon, 12 o'clock sharp, and then we are finished at 2:30.
All right.
And
Amy.
it is 5 days a week. Sorry. I just thought of that. We don't have a A day or a B day. It's 5 days a week.
Amy, will there be a chance for a general surgeon internship?
We don't know right now. The only surgery internships we have right now are outpatient. So it just depends on who is willing to host interns.
Is there anything specific we need to bring with us to the summer class? I'm guessing you're talking about onboarding. I don't know. There may be some papers that they have you bring. That'll be in the email that they send you. What goes into the grade determination for NCAPS?
So your grade mostly is determined first semester by your ability to meet those 5 core standards that Nurbay talked about. You will find very quickly that our class is not like school. So if you're one of those people that's really, really good at turning in worksheets so that you can get an A in class, that is not what we do. We don't do worksheets. We don't We don't play school. Everything we do is pretty much hands-on and experience-based. So if you are a person who likes to actively learn, you like to be up and around, you like to be busy, you like to get your hands dirty, you're going to love this. You do have to write a paper because there's college credit involved. So you'll have to do a paper. You'll have to do a presentation. Second semester, the bulk of your grade is based upon your supervisor's evaluations, your portfolio, your final paper, and your presentation. Hey, Nurbate, can you give us a shout out of those 5 core standards again?
For sure, Mrs. Williamson. So you got communication, collaboration, time and project management, creativity and innovation, critical thinking and problem solving, and integrity and trust.
And I'll agree with what Nurbate said earlier. That integrity and trust piece is the one we really hang our hats on. Because when you do your internship second semester, there's a whole lot of trust that's involved there. Is, you know, are you getting there on time? Are you doing what you've been asked to do? Because we're not there to see you every single day, because we've got, you know, 200 students that we're checking on all over. So there's a whole lot of trust and integrity that goes into that.
Let's see. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So as far as when they signed up for the sessions, when would they find out if they got the session that they wanted, or will that come out in June?
Or do you mean the onboarding session? Is that what
the 7:30 to 10 and then the 12 to 2:30, like.
They should already have that. Is that, am I correct?
Yeah, because that's when we called all of our student associates a couple weeks ago, let them know that they got in. That's when we confirmed if they were AM or PM.
Because I don't ever recall, because my daughter and I were talking about it yesterday, and I don't think she still knows.
Okay, I don't have a list of everyone in front of me right now, but you can feel free to shoot an email over to the office at info@northlandcaps.org, and they'll be able to get you that answer right away.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Let's see, internships available at Children's Mercy.
We had an internship at Children's Mercy last year at the Northland Clinic. We do not have internships at the main hospital downtown on Hospital Hill. So those of you that are interested in pediatrics, like I said, there's actually only one spot at Children's Mercy, and it's super competitive to get that spot, but we do have spots at other pediatric clinics in the Northland. And some of the best pediatric internships are actually the ones with school nurses, because they actually see a whole lot more crazy than the clinics do.
Absolutely. I will agree on that. I have several associates with school nurses right now, and they've gotten great experience. So, okay. Oh, this is a good question. What if you don't like your internship? Can you switch mid-semester?
Unfortunately, no. A lot of times there's not another place for us to send you because we usually have like about enough internships for everyone. So it's really hard for us to find something else for you to go to. If you find that while you're at your internship that you just can't live with it, we will find something for you. We've had, especially because of COVID this year, we've had several of our student associates did some amazing internships that were virtual. I have one of my student associates did one with a dental office in Oklahoma City of all places, and she FaceTimed with them every single day and got to see these amazing oral surgeries and all kinds of cool procedures, and she has loved every minute of it. So there's, we'll find something.
And I think another thing to mention too is, the nice thing about Mrs. Williamson and myself, we're professionals who work in the field as well. So we'll really help you kind of pinpoint like what you don't like about your internship, if that's the case. If it's something, a specific situation, like there may be things that we can do to kind of work with you and help you through those situations and try to improve them. There's a lot of things that come up in the workplace that we can kind of help coach you through and talk about with you too. So, we try to do that as well. Are there already established dates for the summer classes, and how should we contact you about being unavailable for those dates? I'm not sure if dates have come out yet. That'll be what you need to watch your personal email for. And when those come out, if you have some type of scheduling conflict, you will contact the NCAPS office. You can either send them an email or it'll probably be like from Mrs. Clemens, and her phone number will be on that email. You can call her about getting that rescheduled or figuring out what you need to do for that. All right. Snow days. They're determined by North Kansas City School District. We go on their calendar for snow days. So I don't know what those are going to look like next year, whether they'll be just a traditional snow day or virtual, but we do go off North Kansas City calendar.
Yeah, and that's another really important thing to look at early, especially if your school district has a different spring break than the North Kansas City School District, because it will happen during the middle of internships. And there's potential because the week that North Kansas City School District is out for spring break, there are no internships. So, and we don't have class. So that's something to kind of plan ahead for.
There are no other questions in the chat right now. So if anybody else has questions that they want answered, feel free to ask them.
I know a lot of times after we've like thrown a ton of information at you, that 2 hours from now, some really big question is going to come up and you're going to be like, oh, I needed to ask. Feel free to send either one of us an email. We'll be happy to get back to you. I check both of us check our email all the time. You can feel free to reach out to our 2 student associates that are here. And if you guys have any questions for either of them, having lived through a whole year of Northland CAPS now, please feel free to ask them while they're here with us.
We have a couple questions came through in the chat. Will masks be required? Unfortunately, that's not up to us. So we don't get to make those rules. We have people who tell us that. So if schools are still requiring them, we will have to wear them. Also, we're kind of fall to our business partner too. So if Liberty Hospital is still having employees and people wear them, then we will have to wear them too. Okay. In regards to schedule calendar with North Kansas City School, do we have internships or class when school is out in North Kansas City for PD or conferences, etc.?
Those dates are the same. So if there's a PD day for North Kansas City and the district is out, we are out as well. The only thing that's different for us is if the North Kansas City School District has a half day, we don't. We just have a whole day because we have morning and afternoon students. So they're expected to be with us the whole day.
If you ever have
their
any
class time.
Questions too, there's a calendar on the NCAPS website. I think the one for next year will be posted. If it's not on there now, I'm sure it will be soon, but it's under the, I think, for parents and students tab. What places do you recommend to go shopping for business casual clothing?
That is such a great question. And in a normal year, what I normally do is I give myself the challenge of, I give myself a budget and then I go hit several stores and see what I can come up with. And 2 years ago, when we actually had an in-person night like this, I challenged myself to go to Target and see what I could come up with for $25. And I was able to get a pair of like ballet flat shoes, 2 pairs of pants, and 2 shirts. And then I went over budget once I got like the little cardigan to go with it, but really did pretty well to be able to mix and match. So Target's a really great place to go. You can get pretty good stuff at Walmart as well. I don't recommend shopping at your favorite really trendy stores like Francesca's or Forever 21 because a lot of the clothing they have there is super trendy, and medicine still tends to be very conservative. So you're going to want to not shop in the juniors department, even though I know that's what you want to do. You're going to have to shop like for the girls where your mom shops, or gentlemen where your dad shops, to find those things to match that business casual dress code. I also highly recommend some of the thrift stores around. I was able to find really, really nice dress pants for my daughter who's a freshman at Savers, and they still had the tags on them. They were brand new. So we were able to get her some really cute stuff for super, super cheap. So highly recommend the thrift store. And if you've never thrifted before, it is a super fun time.
Agreed. Okay, attendance policy.
All right, so attendance. If you're on time, you're late. If you're early, you're on time. So, and that's just getting into those professional skills, is learning how to get where you need to be on time. So if your GPS says that you'll make it to the parking lot at 7:30, it doesn't mean you're in the parking lot at 7:30, because when you go to Liberty Hospital, y'all, that's a hike, because you got to park way, way far away. You got to walk all the way up the hill, through the hospital, go all the way up the elevator to the 5th floor. It is a hike. So if you end up in the parking lot at 7:30, like your GPS says, you're going to be late to class. So I always recommend trying to get to class 5 to 10 minutes early. So that way, in case you do get caught, that you've given yourself a little bubble. Also, if you find that you're going to get yourself in trouble, we had the guy with the knife on 152 the other day. So I had to go the long way around to get over to Zona, and a couple of my students got caught in that shutdown. Call us right away. Whenever it's safe for you to call, especially if you're on the road, you guys will have access to shoot us messages or actually call us on the cell phone. We always have them on us. Just call us and let us know, just like you would if you had a boss. And speaking of that, we're going to treat you just like an adult, and we're going to hold you responsible for your attendance. So no more mom and dad or whoever's responsible for you calling us to say you're going to be sick that day. You got to call us and tell us you're going to be sick that day, not your parents. Your parents will still have to call you into your school district, but your parents don't call us. The student associates call us and they let us know. They're like, hey, I woke up this morning and I have a really bad migraine from the weather and blah, 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 and I'm not going to make it in today. Okay, great. And then we just turn it in, and then that gets turned into your school. So lots of growing up happens really, really fast in this program.
Right. Will our internships be during our class time or on our own time? They will be during your class time. So, and then are there multiple different places for classes as to where you live?
So I'm going to try to address this question. So the way that it's divided is by school district. So Liberty North, Kearney, Lathrop, Lawson, Excelsior Springs, Smithville, Staley are all in this cohort. All of the other high schools that are a part of Northland CAPS are at North Kansas City Hospital. Any other good questions before we let you guys back to your evening? All right, well, if any of those questions come up later tonight or it hits you tomorrow, please feel free to reach out to us. We're very approachable, very personable. We want to help you as much as we can. So anything you need, please reach out to us. And other than that, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're really excited to have you here, and I cannot wait to have you guys this fall. We are going to have so much fun together. We are already planning some amazing trips for you guys. So I hope you're as excited as we are. We are going to have a blast next year. It's going to be great. Until then, thank you guys so much for being with us tonight. And thanks to our student associates, Ava and Nurbe, for joining us tonight as well. Thank you for giving up your free time tonight to help us out. Have a wonderful night, everyone.
I just left a question in the chat.